Okay, so this month's podcast is on self. I'm really excited about it. I think it's a great subject and I think we're going to dig deep with this one. So, what does self-love mean to me? Self-love means to me being your full authentic self. Authenticity is said to be the highest vibration alongside love, the love frequency. So self-love is really allowing yourself to be truly authentic, being who you were born to be. And that can involve unpacking, that can involve taking off layers, self-analysis, self-reflection. And I see the challenge in that. But I think if you ask, whatever thou seeks, thou shalt find. And I think if you ask the Most High to give you that lesson, to show you who you are, the universe will move in accordance and give you the space to see who you are, which is essentially what I did and what I've been doing. And at this moment in time, I'd like to think I'm very authentic and that I move in my highest power of authenticity. A defining moment in terms of self-realization for me was when I was in a job in my early 20s, and it was a short-term contract and the contract was coming to an end, and the employer wasn't really dealing with me very nicely. They weren't updating me on what was happening. The environment I was in was quite an egotistical environment, and it just felt very disrespectful. So as a result of that, I kind of said, all right, well, if you're going to treat me like that, I'm not giving you my full 100% when I come into work. And I did that and I left, and it gave people room to say things about me that I couldn't really argue, because I had slowed down in the last few weeks. I wasn't working the way I normally worked. And it taught me that no matter what is going on, I need to always be me. I work hard, I take pride in my work, I like to do a good job, I like to do the best I can. So going forward after that point, I always make sure that I leave with things neat and tidy, and that I work to my full capacity all the way to the end. Compromising myself as a result of other people's actions in that professional environment didn't serve me. And then later on, in years later down the line, I had to learn that same lesson in terms of personal relationships, to not compromise myself there either, because that was something I was in the habit of doing. Something I would tell my 8-year-old self is, in this life, there are going to be people that are going to tell you about yourself. And they're going to tell you about yourself, Caroline, Supernatural C, because there's something about your energy, your aura, your way of being, that peacefulness that makes them think they can, that gives them a sense of authority to comment on your character and comment on the way you do things. And I would tell my 8-year-old self that often it's not in your best interest what they're saying. It can be to dim your light, it can be to quiet you down, it can be to control you. So always look at the source, who's saying it, but also be empowered to be clear and to say, I'm not interested in your opinion of me. That's your opinion of me, but your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. And you most certainly will not influence who I choose to be with your opinion. It took me a long time to really learn that. and I've instilled that into my daughters as well. Having a strong sense of self and knowing self and loving self means that external forces can't just come along and start trying to manipulate who you are and what you're doing for whatever reason. So that's what I'd tell my 8-year-old self. And this podcast, I would like to dedicate to my great Uncle Seymour. May he rest in power. And thank him for really helping to guide me to a deeper understanding of self with the wonderful interview that he did with Mom on arriving in this country as part of the Windrush generation and the experiences that he had, because that really was powerful in giving me clarity in regards to the journey that our elders experienced. So now, Great Uncle Seymour, you are in the ancestral realm with Nanny and Grandad and Auntie Lorna and Auntie Jane, and we are grateful for you, and I am grateful for you always being a smiling, happy character, and your account of arriving in this country demonstrated to me that it's not the circumstances, it's how you deal with the circumstances. So this is going to be a great one. I'm really excited about this. So we're on later today, and the video will be up on YouTube on Monday.